sometimes things just get a little out of hand. Folks, let me welcome you on board here at Galaxy. It's nice to have everybody from the Galaxy faithful joining us this morning. And let me tell you, every now and then somebody fantastically awesome comes around, and here I am. We're joined today by the man himself, Tim Steinruck, and let me do this.
Another indie artist interview brought to you by galaxy107fm in association with Rise Up TV, Big Record and Sony Music Watcher.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to Mark, to Pamela, to Lisa, the Don, and also the man himself, the president of the Don Show now, and we're going to talk about that. Of course, Tim Steinruck, also lead singer of the band, The Mighty One. Having said that, let me, I'm going to hold off on that, but let me do this instead. Welcome along, Tim.
Well, so great to be here, Grant and Barbara. And everybody, all you beautiful Kiwi people there in lovely New Zealand, sending so much love here from Canada. And we were just talking about how, you now have protesters too. So, let's protest that we want more rock and roll. That's what I want to protest.
I like that idea, I really do. I'm just actually having a look through Facebook right now because I saw a post very, a little earlier on, my friend, and literally, I think it was one that our team put together. By the way, I'm loving the video. I've got to be honest with you.
Thank you so much.
That's well done. But I'm having a look for this post because kind of disturbed me. I've got to be honest with you. Besides that one, that could be scary in its own right. Besides that one. But why it disturbed me, my friend, was there's only three of you. Literally, there's yourself, there's Bob, the drummer. Gustav is in there. Where the hell is Playboy?
Playboy, haven't talked to him for a little while, but he is around. We got together, we did a show together recently. We did, because he and I both work in the audio-visual business, and we did a show together recently, and it was amazing. But he's doing very, very well, and he says hello.
Well, I kind of miss the guy, if you know what I mean. So the next time you catch up with Playboy, give him a poke in the eye for me, won't you?
I sure will. And we might get lucky and Bob might show up here yet. He said he threatened that he might be here today. So.
Cool, absolutely brilliant. Gear Miranda is on board right now, as you...
Hello, Gear! Hell yeah!
And I've got a very special guest this morning, believe me, she's online right now, coming out of Sepulpa in Oklahoma, celebrating her birthday today. And
wow, we got a birthday girl here, are you kidding me?
She's already asked for a song for you, give me a good, a good Mighty One track. But why not? Let's do something special for her. What do you reckon?
Well, sure. Well, I mean, what was her name again?
Tina.
Oh, that's Tina from Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
Well, why don't we sing happy birthday to Tina? I think that's what we should do. Let me tune this thing a little bit. Make sure that our happy birthday is actually in tune.
Yeah, well, while we're talking about birthdays this morning, I put a shout out also to Pamela, whom you know, and I was told, a little birdie told me this morning that it was her birthday. I put a shout out for her, only to find out, well, happy not birthday, Pamela.
Yeah, she was just taking a Pamela day, a personal day for herself. That's what was happening there. I was fooled by that one myself.
She's doing so well at that, I've got to be honest with you. How are we going there? Are we set?
Yeah, we're set. Here we go. All right, Tina, this one's for you. And Tina's 51 today.
I didn't say that.
You didn't?
No, I'm looking a little bit real.
Little birdie told me.
Yeah,
I thought we were ready, but we're not quite. Hang on.
Well,
Nothing worse than an out-of-tune happy birthday. All right, this one's for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. That one's for you, Tina. Have a beautiful day today. Rock and roll in Oklahoma.
there you go. Yes, Pulpa, Oklahoma at that. Let me do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's feature artists on Galaxy 107 FM.
That's right, and of course if you were participating in the breakfast show this morning, you would have found out that the mighty one are today's feature artist. And believe me, we have a request for this. Let's do it.
Hello, my friends. This is Tim from the Canadian hard rock band, The Mighty One. You're listening to our cover of The Sound of Silence.
Yeah, baby, that's awesome.
And you see, this is how we get away with it. Is that the audio audience now hears the track while we're having a little natter behind the scenes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, because if you played it a little bit longer, then Facebook would start to get upset, probably.
Yeah,
right?
exactly, and that's where you avoid the muting. But the audio audience that's on the radio side hear it perfectly. The ones that are doing the Facebook thing, they get something a little extra here right now where they see what we're about backstage, having a bit of a banter and all this sort of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, because I had my first show yesterday, and I did a Facebook Live for the whole hour, and then, went back to listen to it, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, everything's been muted. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? Yep. And then I get this ugly message from Facebook, and they're like, no. Yep. And you better take it down or you're going to be in trouble. Yep. And so that's what I did. So I learned. I learned very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. But believe me, there's ways around it. Franco is joining us. Hello, brother man. Nice to have you on board. So happy to see you and Denroy getting on. That is absolutely amazing. I'm very jealous that you met Denroy.
Yeah, we need to catch up.
Yeah, we do. Nice to have North
Franco.
Carolina on board. Sorry, I got Barbara doing all sorts of wonderful things.
Oh, yeah.
She takes my attention. She takes my attention.
I just posted you to my home page, to my personal page.
Oh, did you? God, that'll never get over it now.
Oh.
That's right.
Oh, well.
Hey, listen, if we can't have peace, straight between the eyes, okay?
So tell me, what's new over there? What's new with Galaxy these days? I mean, you're always breaking so many artists all the time. It's really amazing to see. And again, it's one of the things that's inspired me to just now start my own radio show on the Pierce Media Network. So tell me what's happening over there. What's new? What's happening?
Well, we're chugging along as we would normally chug along. We've got so many different artists that are coming up, and it is such a well, if you really want to know, it's such a diverse package coming up. A lot of our audience right now is actually coming out of Uganda.
Interesting.
So I was just having a quick squizzy. I better do this, bro. I'll tell you about it.
Okay, yeah.
know, I think Paul Simon would be very impressed with that.
I don't think he would. I think he'd be upset.
No, I think he'd be very impressed. I really do. Yeah, I've actually met Paul Simon, and believe me, if he can sing about diamonds on soles of shoes, he would be impressed with that.
Okay, I hope so. I hope to meet him one day, and he tells me that he is. You know, that would be amazing.
Well, you know something? I also know Dave and the boys from the band Disturbed, and well, they did a version of it as well. Now, I have a feeling, just quietly between you and me, my friend, that you actually brought this version out before they brought their version out.
Like 7 years before, like 7 years. And what's interesting is that when I produced it, when I went, okay, I want to do a cover of Sound of Silence, how would I do that? I'd like to do it in a Disturbed kind of way. And so that's why I approached it with the really chunky guitars and the really, you know, cutting staccatic approach. And then, of course, they come out and they cover it as if it was the original. I mean, they did it better than the original as far as I'm concerned, because I love his voice. But interesting that 7 years prior, I would want to, you know, do a cover of it, had my vision of what they would do to it, and then they come out and do it, you know, very traditionally.
You know, either they had somebody looking at your emails, or they're visionaries like yourself.
It's possible. It's possible. Somehow the message got out there, but obviously that version that they did, it was just huge. What a huge hit for them. And it's very dramatic video, and yeah, amazing.
Yeah, believe me. And we had them here in New Zealand, in Auckland, doing that version as well. Absolutely rocked the house.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Really.
When were they there? That was a few years ago, though, now, right?
Yeah. What would it, about 5 years ago?
Okay. So tell me about live concerts now in New Zealand and what's happening. Are things opening up?
Not yet.
Not yet, eh?
Nothing's happening. Unless you want to go down to the protests. I mean, there's a few people taking the stage down there and doing their best to entertain the crowds, as you would expect. You know, it's kind of trying to make it a festival thing. But really, as far as concerts go, nada right now. But doesn't mean to say that we're sitting here on our hands doing nothing about it, literally. And we have some very, very exciting artists that we're lining up to bring into the country. As soon as we're giving the green light, we're into it. You know what I mean?
Well, we've been talking about this for over 2 years now, right? For sure, about getting over there and coming over with, you know, when you said you got Gear Zone watching the show. Yeah, I see him there. You know, and so coming with Viking Queen. I mean, there's all sorts of. Oh man, I mean, how many bands have you interviewed since then? So, I mean, we could have a festival that went on for like months.
Yes.
We could.
Yes.
Literally, we could do that. And I got to be honest with you, we've done thousands now since we first started doing it. You know, starting to feel like maybe, you know, now that I've done one or two, I might be able to get used to doing this sort of thing.
Well, you look like you're very comfortable there, you know, like you're like a big toddler in a high chair and you're eating rock and roll every day.
Absolutely. I digest that as much as I can. My life's all about it. It really is. Well, nice to know I'm a toddler in a high chair, though.
Yes.
I'm only 21. Honest, this is what radio does to you. Having said that, my friend, we are going to be breaking a brand spanking new song for you today, and believe me, I think it's a fascinating track. I really do. I've got it playing in my car. I've listened to it time and time again just to ascertain the whole deal, how it was structured, how it was put together. By the way, I'm dressed appropriately today.
Yes, you are. You're flying the flag, and I'm so happy to see that. And I kind of figured you would. I was going to do it myself, but then I went, well, you know what? I'm going to go with my pure inspiration right here, right now.
Oh, Princess, believe me, he's missed, isn't he? He really is.
Yes, he is. We miss him already. Absolutely.
But believe me, I've actually worked with Van Halen when they came to New Zealand many years ago. It must have been about 20 odd years ago. And when the promoter came to me and says, Grant, we need an engineer for Van Halen, and it was on the North Shore in Auckland, which is weird. It never happens on the North Shore in Auckland ever, but it did. He says, we've got Van Halen coming in. We need an engineer. I says, Van Halen? Holy hell. How many caregivers and how many wheelchairs are we going to need for those guys?
But that was 20 years ago. Why would you need any wheelchairs?
They were old then.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, David Lee Roth is just, I think is he retired now? I believe he just retired. He did his last few shows in Vegas and then he retired. And of course, Eddie's gone to the other side. So yeah, it was a legacy time. I mean, that's where I came from, Grant. You know that. That's my story, right?
Exactly.
I had a Van Halen tribute that turned into an original band that got signed by Paul Stanley, and it's kind of like it's a story that sort of runs parallel because Van Halen was first discovered by Gene Simmons.
You know,
when they were called Mammoth.
Now, strangely, you should mention Paul Stanley, and believe me, we love Kiss and Gene Simmons. Believe me, I got the second biggest tongue in the world. He told me that, literally. But just the other day, I was doing an interview with a band called Tattered Sons. Now, they're going to be doing something with Ace Frehley.
Interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. I did say to them, hey guys, set up an interview with Ace for us, will you? Please, come on.
Yeah.
And I want to actually have a chat to Ace about the other guy that has his name. That's a hobo. Apparently this guy was living under a bridge. His name was Ace Frehley. And the world kind of found out about this guy and thought Ace Frehley was now homeless. You know what I mean? Made his life hell for months. It really did. You can just imagine. Oh, Ace, I'm sorry. I just had to bring that up. John Pater's on board. Nice to have you on board, John. It is an absolute pleasure to have you. Now, Tim, before we get into, and we've got the torch of rock and roll, and we're going to have a chat about this, but I'm interested in how embedded you are with Rise Up TV, Big Record, Sony Music, The Orchard.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I signed with Big Records, with Mark Rosner, Big Records, back in the summertime. Bob and I decided to sign up with them. And so we've been with them, and one of the reasons that I did was, I was very interested in what Mark was doing with Rise Up TV. And so anyways, yeah, so we signed up, and then I right away signed up to go out on the first tour. And as it turned out, I ended up basically being the host of the tour because that's just the kind of guy that I am. And now I'm also a co-producer. And so, yeah, we're working on 2 episodes. We're editing 2 episodes from that tour to Alberta with a few bands, with Revolution Engine, with Son of Man, Kylie Styles, and The Beast from Mexico. And so, yes, am I embedded with them? Absolutely. I'm in the family. I am happy to be there. I'm proud and honored to be there. And we are planning to tour the world with Rise Up TV. And we're coming to see you too with Rise Up TV. Rise Up TV New Zealand is happening. It's in the planning stages right now, as is Rise Up TV South Africa, as is Rise Up TV Cambodia, as is Rise Up TV Germany and the UK. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. This is a legacy project that I am so honored to be part of. And I'm putting everything that I can in creatively. As a matter of fact, I have a track that I want to show you soon that we'll be releasing. That's actually called Rise Up.
Really?
Believe it or not.
Really?
Yes.
That's very interesting. Now, Tim, at the same time, on behalf of all of our staff here at Galaxy and myself, you don't know how humbled we are to be a part of the Rise Up movement. We are just so very happy to be a part of it. How's Mark doing? Is he feeling any better at the moment?
He is feeling better. Yeah, we had a meeting on Monday. Every week we get together with the record company. One of the beautiful things about Big Records is that they have all of these services that they give to their artists. Okay, it's very much a service-oriented record company. It's not a traditional record company. It's basically a large umbrella with a bunch of services that really support artists' growth. Okay, whether that be sponsorship, endorsements, whether that be grant writing, whether that be booking agencies, all of these things, and really expanding even more. And of course, they have this relationship now with Sony The Orchard. So, being able to release your music digitally around the world through big records is a really, really, really big deal. And, if you're the right artist, then coming out on tour, on the Rise Up TV tour. The nice thing for myself is, that I'm in this, I'm a cast member on the show. I'm kind of like the host, and I'm also co-producer. So I'm playing a few roles, but I'm also an artist. I'm also an artist on there, and I go out as an acoustic artist, or I go out with the Mighty One. So there's a number of different tours that we're doing. Some are with the full bands, and they're like hard rockin' tours. But then there's the other ones that are nice acoustic tours where it's just singer-songwriter. We got one of those coming up actually later on this spring. So yeah, it's an exciting enterprise. It's an exciting legacy enterprise.
Tim, all of that, the whole package you just gave me right there is absolutely phenomenal, all except for one thing. He's waiting for me to say it. I'm not sure about grant writing. I don't want to be written on.
You should read the things we write about you.
Yeah, I bet. All on the toilet wall too, and with phone numbers, I bet. Literally. Having said that, my friend, I am so excited for your future. I really am. Not only being in the entertainment business, the TV business, everything like that. And I want to talk to you too, because I have some very, very famous people in the Hall of Fame that want to talk about joining big records. So I'm going to have a chat to you about that very, very shortly. But first of all, I want to talk to you about the torch of rock and roll.
Oh man, the torch of rock and roll's been burning since you helped launch that, back over a year ago now. It's coming up on 2 years almost, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Since we launched the torch of rock and roll, it's kind of how it feels. It was the beginning of the pandemic. We put out Burden, that was the very first song, and then we moved forward to that, to Christmas in the North, which was because, you introduced us to Viking Queen, to Gay Miranda, and, that brotherhood there. All of this, the bigger theme about all of this is brotherhood. That's what's really coming up for me on this one. You call me brother, man, all the time, and it's so nice to call you brother also. So that's kind of the bigger thing. But getting back to what you were talking about, the torch of rock and roll, and I think we've released, since Burden, we've released another 4 singles since then. And so this is the 5th one, Darker Side of Me, which we just released the music video for this yesterday on Tuesday, 2/22/2022. It was a big deal. It was a big day. And, this one is, I guess, kind of like the ballad on the record, right? It really is. It's kind of like the ballad.
Now, I've got somebody from Big Records saying the Eastern Canada tour was a great success. It was a singer-songwriter deal, and, something, so happy, and we'd love to see more of it. We want to get it on our websites and everything like that, start promoting it when it's available as well. So keep that in mind. But right now, believe me, let's go back 2 years.
The torch of rock and roll is gonna heal your soul. The Mighty One from Vancouver, Canada. Whoa, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we're off. Derek Lester is watching. Absolutely.
Derek, how you doing?
He's from the Tattered Sun.
He's from the Tattered Sons.
Yes,
We were just talking about these guys. I love this band. I really do.
We'll introduce them to Tim.
Tim, you know Derek, don't you?
I do. I think we might be friends already on Facebook. I believe so.
Okay. Well, if not, we'll certainly introduce you guys because believe me,
I've been a friend miner on. I go and not only am I a little bit of a media whore, I'm also a Facebook whore. So.
Yeah, believe me, I'm not. I do very little on social medias. Believe me.
What are you talking about? It was you that reached out the first time to me. You started all this stuff.
Well, yeah, but at the meantime, I had to get to know who the heck said who the F are you and what the F do you want. I got to find this guy out.
We had a fun day. It was so
Yeah, we were having a lot of fun that day. We really were.
And we can blame Mr. Dwayne Watson for that.
Yeah, we can actually. We really can.
Wow, his new music is great.
Isn't it? We got one in this morning. History Page?
Yes.
I think it's called. Brilliant. It's Willie B. Sober is
Hi,
just...
John.
He's opening up his shoulders now and starting to play, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It is,
I see that.
I'm loving
Thursday.
it. Chris,
I gotta go out. They're about half an hour, 45 minutes. They live away from me, but I gotta go out to their jam space and hang out with them one day.
He's not been feeling too well just
Oh,
lately,
don't
so
Oh no! Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
him and Karen have been down in the dumps a little bit.
Okay.
But, they'll get over that. Chris Andreas is joining us as well, and Love to Louie, another brilliant guitarist.
Absolutely, brilliant songwriters. All of these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I spoke to one young lady just the other day, and she did a duo with Chris Andreas.
Oh wow!
Fantastic track. Sharon Marie White, yep, believe me, brilliant artist. Again, a Canadian,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
How's
Well,
this?
you interview a lot of Canadian artists. I noticed that the majority are Canadian artists, and many of them from British Columbia, as a matter of fact.
Right, it would be remiss of me if I didn't go where the talent is.
Well, you know, we do live. It's kind of like we're like the LA of Canada, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Just
absolutely,
eventually about
absolutely.
4,000 to date.
Ah, dear, oh dear.
Last
Gosh, it's hot.
years.
What's the
And I only
temperature
work
there?
Part-time.
Right here in the studio, probably about 85 to 90 degrees, but outside, I think it's around 0 right now. 0 or just over. Yeah.
No, you can keep that.
Celsius.
Um,
Yeah, we got a little bit of winter again here.
Tina was telling me just moments ago that it's snowing and blowy. Snowy and blowy. Yuck.
Snowy and blowy in Oklahoma.
Yeah. Yuck. I hate. No, I don't want that. Oh, I've still got about 40 seconds to go. Yeah, so it's.
Yeah, you don't want to get muted.
No, I don't want to get muted. That sounds painful.
No, I get into trouble, not Grant.
It's 72 degrees Fahrenheit here at the moment.
Oh man, amazing.
Let's go and do it. Somebody didn't click it.
Galaxy.
Big Rick would say, you guys are all awesome. Oh, yes, we are. No.
Big Records is awesome. Big Records is awesome. The
And-
biggest, the littlest big record company in the world.
You know something? Making huge inroads around the world right now. They really are. And I absolutely applaud the success that everybody from Big Records, Rise Up TV and Sony Music The Orchard are doing right now, especially, of course, with our good buddy here, Tim Steinreich. Now, Tim, I got to be honest with you. When I first heard Darker Side of Me, I sort of sat back for a minute and went, that's different. Now, I think just quietly, Tim, this shows diversity. I really do. And I want to know, let's get really into this. Now, I'm going to let you know, last week, beginning of the week, we started off with a police officer coming out of Canada and ended up with a criminologist coming out of North Carolina. So, you know, we stayed within the boundaries of the law last week. I think we're going to be a little bit lawless right now. And I got to let you know, too, that I listened to this particular track in my car because I wanted to find out more about it. I really wanted to get in depth, and the only way to do that is listen to it over and over again. As you know, I've got a kick-ass stereo in my car, so I really get involved with it there. Nobody else can disturb me. I thought this was a fantastic piece of work. The darker side of me. Tell me about this. What is the darker side of you?
Well, I mean, if you see the music video, it kind of does explain it. You know, the video, I do it in front of a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm observing myself in the mirror. A lot of the work that I've done, as you know, that I do a little bit of coaching work, and I've done a lot of personal development work. And one of the things in personal development over the last few years has to look at the parts of ourselves that we don't want to look at, or the parts of myself that I didn't want to look at. I sort of, I come across as a very positive person. I'm very much love and light and all that good stuff. But, why do I like metal? Why do I like getting up on stage and playing really loud and screaming? It's because there's some anger inside of there. There's a Viking in there that wants to get out. You know what I mean? And so but why is that there? That's what I had to look at. And so the darker side of me was a way to explore that. It came in the darkest part of the pandemic is when I was writing this song, and I was not in that great of a space, and I went, I got to look at this, and I found this exercise, and it's called actually the candle mirror exercise. You set up a candle in front of the mirror, and you go into a meditative state, and you look yourself in the eye, and you just stay that way for as long as you can. I've done this for as long as 3 hours before, and it is amazing. Like they call the eyes the windows to the soul, right? Spend some time looking into your own soul, and yes, there's lots of great stuff there, but most of the time, the stuff that scares you, that you're not that happy about, is what you see. And that's really what the song is about, was making peace with that part of me. So not only was it this candle mirror exercise that I'm talking about, but it's also a bigger concept that I see where, we kind of got the split in the world right now. Like the world is kind of splitting. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Very much so. And it's not just vaccine or no vaccine or left or right, but it's everything. It's everything. And I think that the only place to really live from that makes any sense, that's not stressful, that's peaceful, that's full of love, is that place where you're like, okay, yeah, I'm that. Yeah, I'm that too. But really, I'm this. That center point. So really, the song is about centering.
I get that. I really, really do. And thank you for telling me about that. At the same time, I think the world right now is on a reset, or maybe even close to being a reboot, to be very honest with you. But having said that, and believe me, I am so happy to be able to release this to the world, to our audio audience, our Galaxy faithful. Here is what I think is Tim's most diverse track right now, and believe me, get involved in this. You're gonna love it. Here's the darker side of me.
It's Tim here from the Mighty One in Vancouver, Canada. Got a brand new single for you. A song called The Darker Side of Me, right here on Galaxy 107 FM.
And that's how we get away with it.
Yeah, as long as what is it, like 20 seconds? 30 seconds?
Yeah.
How much you love? Something like that? 20 seconds?
About 20 seconds, I think, yeah.
Okay.
But at the same time, you see, if the music's on the intro, we can get away with that.
As long as there's no vocal yet or something like that, probably,
Yeah,
right?
well, you got a couple of seconds to lead into the track. You're allowed that. But if that same bit is in an intro like what you just did, a voiceover,
yeah,
no problem.
That's fine.
They have no problems with that.
I'm learning all the time. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about doing something new, like this first show that I did yesterday. Is there's always so much to learn. I mean, just working on the console here in the studio and knowing how to pace the show and how to mute this and that and make it all happen. It's a big deal. I really admire what you do over there. It's a really big deal. But you know what? I love it. It's so much fun. I'm looking forward to the next show. Could I do it every day like you do? No, but it's fun. Once a week for an hour, it's going to be amazing.
Tim, do you know what makes this work?
What makes it?
My team makes this work.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I can't do
Yeah.
this by myself. If it wasn't for the guys around me, this would never work. It really wouldn't. And
Yes.
let me give you a little bit of gold.
Okay.
Indie artists mostly don't have copyright.
Right. And they should. They should.
They should.
They should. Yeah,
Right.
they should be sending tracks to you that have the metadata embedded into it so that they're collecting money every time that you play their music. That's
Yeah.
the key.
Exactly. But at the same time, you see, that also helps with doing shows like this.
Right.
You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
If we're breaking artists to the world, then people like Facebook and all the major places, Spotify, Amazon, all of those, they haven't got
Yeah.
their claws on them yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and probably because I got muted yesterday on Facebook was probably because my own music
Yes.
is so heavily copyrighted.
Yes.
You're
My
a,
own music picked me out of my own show.
you're a victim of your own success, brother man.
Yes, I watched it, and yes, his song was music.
That's not funny, but it's bloody hilarious if you think about it.
It is. It's like a feedback loop, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, I want to do a little shout out to the CEO of the Pierce Media Group, Mr. Don Pierce. Don, if you're on, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be part of your amazing organization and to have that first show yesterday. I'm still on a high from that. It was a lot of fun. So I'm really excited about the future moving forward. And of course, we've got a country station there, we've got a rock station. So we got Cat Country and Cat Power Hit Radio, which is more of a classic rock, hard rock station. And then we've got a magazine called Harmony Chronicles.
Nice. Let's get back to the desk, bro. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today we are talking to Tim Steinreich, the man himself, the lead singer from the band The Mighty One. And I want to give a shout out to Bob, who may or may not turn up. It's that typical drummer, he's always late. He's good for timing, but bad for getting anywhere. To Playboy and Gustav as well, the rest of the crew from The Mighty One. So, looking forward to having them on Kiwi shores in front of Kiwi audiences, and we can't do it without the brother man. And believe me, as I said to you way back in the day, bail money, bro. When we get together, we're going to need it.
Oh man, it is going to be an animal show.
So looking forward to it. Believe me, bro, I really, really am. And especially if we include, of course, Gay Miranda and the band, the Viking Queen, coming out of Norway. This is going to be just absolutely phenomenal. At the same time, we'll throw in a bit of Steve Lynch, and maybe, just maybe, if we work our cards right, we might even be able to throw in a bit of Dave Evans from AC/DC as well.
Oh man, that'd be amazing. And also, I don't know, have you had Fiction 6 on there yet on your show?
Mark Leno, he's a good friend of ours.
About 3
Yeah,
hours.
what an amazing artist he is. You know, what's really cool is all these artists now are starting to send their music, right? Because I put out a thing on Facebook today that said, hey, if you got some great music, and please send it over because I want to play on the show. So all of our friends, and so many of them that you've introduced me to are sending their music right now. So grateful for you guys for being just these amazing rock and roll matchmakers, you know.
Ride the wave of success, my friend. You deserve it. You really do. Did you know that Mark is actually a rocket scientist?
I've heard that rumor. And he also he also does some mentoring in the Grammys, and this guy is a mover and a shaker, and their music is amazing.
Yeah, and how the hell he does that with those eyebrows, I don't know.
But he's got the right kind of haircut.
Oh, look at that. That is an absolute eggshell haircut. It is. I love that. I really do.
I shined it up just for you this morning.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. You know something? I had a young lady coming out, I think out of New York, who said to me, Grant, I wore my best wig for you.
She did. Yeah, she did.
It kind of, yeah, great. Nice. Brilliant. What's under it? Is it like Donald Trump?
Please don't show us. Please don't show us.
Yeah, no, not with the lights on anyway. Anyway, my friend, hang in there. We'll just do some backstage stuff. But thank you so much for joining me today, my friend. I wish you all the success with Rise Up TV, Big Record, Sony Music, The Orchard, and of course, wish all the best for Mark, Pamela, Lisa, and the Don himself. Don, get in touch with me. Want to meet you as well. And Tim,
Yes.
I really, 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 really want to get behind you and say, if you ever need any advice as far as being a host, being a radio announcer, being anything like that, just knock on my door, bro. I am always there for you.
Hey, I watch you all the time. I've learned so much from you over the last couple of years on how to be an amazing personality on the radio, and I've even learned a few things on not to be.
yeah, believe me. I think that's the next album cover, isn't it?
Oh yes, that lovely photo.
Anyway, hang in there, my friend. But in the meantime, let me do this.
Another indie artist interview brought to you by Galaxy107fm in association with Rise Up TV, Big Record, and Sony Music The Orchard.
Absolutely, we are so proud to be in association with Rise Up TV, Big Record, Sony Music, The Orchard, and everybody involved in it, including now the new president of the Dom Pierce show, the Kit Kat thing, and all that sort of stuff. Believe me, Tim Steinreich is a man on the move. Keep an eye out for him. But in the meantime, folks, let me do this.
107.
There's a place I sometimes go where it's raining, mist and cold, far away from peaceful light and warm. But I hold it, I embrace. Dark cloud shadows cross my face, Viking anger and a lust for more. And you reflect that part of me, and in your eyes I see the darker side of me.